let me teach you about the Chinese room. So imagine you're you, as long as you don't speak Chinese, and you end up getting kidnapped by people that only speak Mandarin. So you end up going with them into a private room that has not much, just like a desk, a bed, and a bookshelf. And on the bookshelf are these books, are essentially like semi-phrase books, but it's a little more vague than that, because it's basically just,
if this person responds with XYZ characters in Mandarin, this is XYZ characters in Mandarin, that is the appropriate response.
but without explaining what any of the Mandarin actually means. After like 12 hours of you being locked in this room alone, a note slides under the door and it's written fully in Mandarin. It's not legible to you, but you do know you have those books. So you sit down at the desk and start trying to translate the phrases as best as you can without really understanding the conversation that you're having. But on the outside, the lower levels of the grunt kidnappers that are part of this organization do not know that you have phrase books in the room where you're being held. The note that they had left you was asking you if you're okay and if you need any water or food. And then when you slide the note back out under the door to answer them, even though you don't know what you wrote, you actually responded in appropriate written Mandarin. So you end up getting food slid under your door, and you don't know that you requested it, but you eat it and you keep answering any of these messages that they're sending you. How are you doing? Do you need anything? Whatever. And you're answering them appropriately without having any idea what you're saying. And after all this back and forth, the grunts outside are convinced that you are fluent in Mandarin, not knowing who is inside that room. When in reality, you're not even close to fluent in Mandarin, have no idea what you're saying, and cannot parse out a single Mandarin character. So the paradox lies here. Can you actually argue that that person is a fluent Chinese speaker? In AI programming, this concept is called the black box. Current AI models fundamentally lack perspective and a level of memory that is necessary to be conscious at a human level. All that Gemini and Grok and ChatGPT are doing is taking their internal phrase books from binary to English or whatever language you're speaking in, and translating it without understanding anything at all. AI is fantastic for a lot of very specific tasks and tools that should be automated and that people shouldn't have to do, but that thing is not art. If a computer can't have perspective, memory, or consciousness, it can't produce something that is an impressive painting, D&D campaign, novel, whatever.